Good evening, folks. It's 1747 on the 8th day, 5th month, 2022. And I've been waiting to see this beam. I predicted that we're going to have to make one to split this river of moisture up. And here it has occurred. And like I said, I was waiting for this. Now I know exactly where everything's going to go and how it's going to happen. I see the geoengineering conditions that are now going to lead to me forecasting the bad areas of the flooding. And it is going to be bad. And you're going to watch the screen's going to jump as I use my arrow. But you see this beam here? Nucleating up here? Sorry about the jump. There's the only other way I could do it is to zoom down, and I'm not going to. Right? Here's your timestamp. Then I'm going to show you on a map the very specific areas, and I'm not going to waste a bunch of time. Now here's your timestamp on this beam. I'm going to change domains. Actually, I'm going to give you be easier to see. And I'm going to zoom in on some street levels and give you some map data of where you're on most danger. There's a couple areas I'm pretty immediately going to need to evacuate. You hear those words, evacuate. Look at that beam coming through. Right, it's going to stop this moisture from flowing. It's going to back it up, actually. Hits it with a shock. The beam is actually going from here through to here with a secondary beam through here. It's going to make this area a little extra heated and volatile. It's going to shove the moisture straight in through here. Come within the next 24 hours, the main moisture from here is going to actually back up and stall and force in. It's going to actually hold this here more. Townsville and those towns just south of it are really going to have a bad time of it. Here's your timestamp coming over. See it? Bzzz. That's a big device getting fried, getting fried. Right? Look at the moisture. It's condensating. Look how it's interfered with the river of moisture. I told you I've been watching these a long time, and this one here is bad news. Yeah, I'm watching it very closely, but its twin is headed into the Bay of Bengal. Is gonna another place is gonna cop it. Somebody said they didn't like me predicting something using the word cop it, but guess what? You want me to still out here and count the raindrops? You're out of your mind. Anyways, I'm gonna go down to the others now, but there's a beam that is influencing this storm. Bzzzt, EMF geoengineering. Is it a space weather event? No, actually. It's clean and green. Clean and green, clean and green. No events in the last 24 hours. Okay? Clean and green. So you can't say that. But we must check. We must look for natural first. All right. Now we're going to go into. I'm going to go cam first. We'll get this loading up. Right. Right now, currently, at this moment, within 2 hours of this shot, here's this minute right now, my time. From 6 o'clock, so 10 minutes from now, they say this is going on here. That is not a little bit of moisture here, folks. That is a highly electrical storm going on right now. But the area I'm most worried about is what I talked about yesterday's Cairns. Right here. And they're copping it. Absolutely copping it. They are. These poor folks. Now, this is falling every 3 hours, right? So as I go through to from 18 to for 2 hours, it's still right on there. They're getting deluged. Absolutely deluged. But watch this is coming up over the next over today. The sudden blow up of these storms through this one area here that you see nucleating all this right in here, right? This oddness here at the very last frame. All right, we jump it back. That's the last frame of Memek on that timestamp at 1600 hours today, my time, which was about 2 hours ago. This data came up, right? And you see that difference right there? Here's your rain corridor. It's right here for the next 24 hours, 36 hours. Right here has got all the energy it needs, and boy, is it going to fuel some lightning. Electromagnetic frequency pulse through metal objects so will generate a electrical potential charge in them, and they're just looking for capacitance to go to ground. Well, they hold the capacitance, actually. We can come over here. Hopefully this will be loading up now. Thought it would be nice for me to do a different kind of show today. Hey, Jeffrey, it was nice of you to give that warning 10 minutes after mine that matched what I said. At least people are getting safe. But if you could share some of your 50 a year you get from all those people, that would be kind. So that half your team can go to America and chase tornadoes while the biggest weather event in your country's going on. What a shame. No, not all hands on deck here. Some of them are taking your 50 and running to the States and having some fun. Let this load up now. Well, it's loading. Just let it go. Big, huge plumes coming over here toward Maryborough, Rockhampton. Look at this square form one that passed over and then dissipated into that disgustingness that we call today's weather. Right here. Boom! Something has deployed. Chem bombs. See that cross in the sky? That ain't your personal Jesus coming over your house. That's a chem bomb. That's disgusting. Look at that. Look how it's changed its form. Just follow that cloud. Oh, I'm sorry if somebody will want me to do this, so give me a moment. I will change my mouse color for you. Here we go. Is that better for you now? Look at that. Massive chem bomb there outside of Emerald, between these two NEXRAD stations. Boom. Just watch them. Watch one thing. Those are boom boom plumes. Chem bombs suck. And that beam went right through here. This area where you just suddenly don't see anything at all. And this chem is coming over into it. And this is your latest, not so greatest image of that sickness mix I showed you this morning. Has finally made its way all the way over to here. Traveling by air. The jet set these days, or the jet stream set, is a bunch of chem bombs. Look at this crap going over. Not naturally occurring cloud formations. Right? You wanna see the not puffy whiteness of it all? You want to see the crime in progress? This is it, Australia. This is what's going to fuel an unbelievably terrible, disgusting flood that's going to probably make the 2011 event over here through Toowoomba look like a child's play. All right? This is bad. The levels that I'm seeing reported by the weather plan are very, very high for a few areas. Now, up here, Mackay, Townsville, let's have a roll through of this. Have a look together. Well, this is going in two directions. Boom, and that's just staying there. Like something's just going psst, psst, over and over and over again. Where it should just be going that way. Just trucking along like a cloud again. More square form over here. This thing just fizzing up. Everything's going this way except that. Chem bombs suck. I'm going to keep saying it. They're sucking the life out of this reef out here. They're saying the reef is bleaching. Well, I imagine all the chemical fallout from the sky ain't helping it too much. I imagine the runoff of all the pesticides from the land over the top of it ain't going to help too much. And the whole how dare you of it all. Of harming things out in the ocean with this. Look at this one. I'll stop it. Hang on. There's a big boom. Watch here. Okay? See how slow we can get it. Watch this plume. The V shape in it. Right, it's here, because it's going to go again. Well, maybe that's a little too slow. Well, you watch there, and I'll move the cursor. Right there. Boom! Right? Shockwave came out. Imagine you guys be hearing that off the coast. You guys hearing explosions? Right? Now I'm not talking lightning, like firework explosion, like boom. And those explosions, when the sound waves hit the top of these big clouds, will trigger huge downpours. You can just see a square here between McKay and the cloud tops. Boom. This is, if this ain't man-made, none of it is. That whole plume was like a rectangle going out. What, are you opening up the checkerboard or playing a game with us these days, or is that the chessboard coming over the top of you? Ah, the plume's feeding into this. Nonsensical storms. And what's coming for here is going to be fed by these desiccants here. And all the energy's in place over the top of this radar station, which, well, I imagine they ain't going to be showing us data from too well. Shall we look? Why not? I gotta know. Because that's an excitation happening over here. There's an excitation happening here for sure. That's going to pin moisture. Who we got here? Let's see what you're doing. You ain't hiding this. Bzz, look at that nipple ripple ring. Circle, circle, circle. That's going to show up real well on here, actually. Which one am I at? ISA. You feel like they're taking your data away? They're taking your data away. They ain't showing the radar, okay? They've shut down the feed off Windy. Right, that's Mount Isa. Right, this is Mount Isa. That's why I say I don't always trust Windy. It's just got a cool graphic to show. I use pressure maps and EMF and chemtrails to determine the weather. I give you a geoengineering forecast. They're pulsing away up here over Mount Isa. You can see it. You can see it right here. Right, you ain't hiding this. These things are influencing and making weather. That's proof right there. Chem bomb going over the tops of them. Yeah, you guys get sprayed like bugs. My God, some of y'all are about to cop it. And yeah, I use that word copy. And in private message, I just point blank tell you, you're fucked, man. You're fucked. Shit's going all over the top of Tweed's head. Looks like an EMF outflow boundary here might be saving Lismore's ass, actually, from some of the heated flow. But one more day before we know more about that. Toowoomba, I'm sorry, you guys are fucked. There ain't nothing I could do about that. Nothing any of you could do about that. And there's nowhere you can go. I'm sorry. This inundation is occurring. When I go to the accumulated totals over the next 3 days, you're over here. You ain't going nowhere. Mount Isa, you're clear right now. But you ain't going to be. You get some rain. So that looks like for the next 10 days, your safest spots are west, if you can get there. Don't go through the mountain areas of here right now, around this border area. Well, go there if you can. I know there's protests going on up at your state house and election stuff going on. But I've seen road washed out. I'm seeing you're going to come upon trees and mountain slides. And, well, go do what you got to do. But it looks like your safest passage is through here. This is what I do for y'all. That'll be your safest passage, according to the weather plan, which I fully disagree with. I said before, the moisture, everything's all here for this to get flooded. So I'm going to again say, you bring that over. Bring that right over to here. And I'm disagreeing with the weather plan again. I say I'm still accurate. The totals over here are catastrophic for the next 5 days. Even the 12-hour figure, 24-hour figure for here is pretty high. Like I go up near Kearns where that Cairns, I mean, whatever the current downpours are going on. It's very heavy. Very, very heavy. You know, when I went to what was going now over there, you know, this is, there's a lot of rain going on right this minute. If I come back now. You know, this is like right this minute. And they're talking an accumulation of, over the next 24 hours coming to, 18. So from that spot, then the heavier stuff is moving south down here in a line toward Bundaberg, towards here. So I'm going to do a zoom in now and show you some of my what I call the problem areas. Right, it's a heavy total. So let's see if we can save some lives right now. We got to look at catchments and where the water runs to. So Innis Falls, all here, get the fuck out. Right now's your time. You know you got a time, right? You got time. So let's get a warning out. Let's get the fuck out of these catchments here. Right, you got housing down here. Get out. I looked at a couple towns actually, and areas very specific to flooding, and this area is a huge concern. See these roads right here? So you live along here, get out. One of the highways here is a huge problem, this A1. Right, as we head into this stretch here, this highway actually, they become like a riverbed. And they'll catch all that rain in them. And they themselves will become a raging river. And wherever there's a bridge, it's going to drop the water. Like it's coming, whatever's coming down this road in this direction or that direction, depending on the grade of the road, will drop into this creek. Okay? These houses over here are fucked. Right? Get them out. Just do this. To save some lives. And they can come up this hill, they'll be okay. Right? You see, that's a problem for these people. This Russell's River is going to have big issues. But these little ones are going to have more issues because of these mountains. As this water rages down from, oh gosh, there's a name for me to try. Warunaran National Park. Junction Creek. The housing here is not going to fare very well, but this one's 100 up, so you could be okay. But as we get down in this bottom land here, see, I'm actually looking at your gradient to do these determinants. Not just like a Swami. You know, Telecom Road. You're fucked. Right? All along this A1, this is going to become a river. All this stuff that runs alongside it down these hills is going to catch in this, and I don't know which way it runs. Let me look. I'd have to know the gradient. This entire river area is in great danger of flooding these towns along the way. That's possible. I'm doing a determining, and I don't like doing what I'm getting ready to do. A1's here. There's a creek with a drop off here. Alright, it's going to drop water here. Yeah. See, those little bridges will be the ones that become the waterfall for the water to head toward the coast. And this valley got wall here. There's nowhere for the water to go but wherever the gradient takes it toward Cairns. My God, you guys are going to get it. Get out of these down areas. If you can. You got a very limited time for that. Very, very limited time. So with the totals coming here higher than this, it's get out time. Very sorry, folks, to have to report that. Let's see what we got else going on. This is very important that we take the time to do this. To warn people. Your rain and thunder, very, very heavy rain. Don't go walking around with a golf club in your hand unless you want to win a Darwin Award. Now I'm going to let this run for a minute while I sip my drink. Sharing is caring, folks. And I'm sharing you information because I care. I don't get my 50 a year from all you people to keep me, half my team over in freaking... I don't have a team, actually. You guys are my team. To keep people over to chasing tornadoes in the United States when they should be over here accurately informing you guys. Because, boy, does that other guy getting it wrong. Look at this patch of crap coming through here. Right? I told you this days and days and days ago when I see that EMF move. That I was waiting on a beam. And there it is. Right there. Bzzzt. See it? Going backwards in time. That's not a little bit of time they turned that sucker on. Really. How long was it on? Count these ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each one of those is a jump of 1. That's 9 hours worth of microwave frying. Bzzzt. Created the heating outflow walls that Sorry about that. I'm checking it's on. And you got a radar being hidden from you on Windy, so don't tell me Windy's accurate. I keep telling you they're hiding data from you. And there's proof of that. Why are they hiding data unless they're guilty of geoengineering? What have they got to hide? They tell us that. You won't mind a security camera if you got nothing to hide. Well, why are you hiding that data from the world there, from the Mount Isa? It's clearly not there. It's clearly missing. Clearly missing. Clearly showing up right here. Bzz, getting fried, geoengineering style. Geoengineering is real right before your eyes, and you're being lied to, Australia. What a shame. You guys deserve the truth. You're honorable people. You care about folks. Right? And I care about you in return. So let's go back in. Show you some of these heavier cells. Townsville over the next... Yeah, you guys again. You guys are about this many days off. Look. So many towns are bad off coming on. Like looking up Tuesday when they're talking about this town here. Right? Look at these creeks. All that's going to be inundated. Any town at the conflux of these things or where these come together around Longreach are fucked. Just because the rain's up here don't mean it ain't going somewhere. But I don't know where all these run, in all fairness. But that's not good. Wherever the floods normally run here is going to be affected by this. This is a catastrophic amount of rain. Catastrophic amount. Where all these rivers are, where all this comes through, Muddaborough, you're fucked. My God. And there's a highway again. We got to look at highways as dry riverbeds, okay? Don't get caught out in a dry riverbed during a storm when you got mountainsides around you. Yeah, these trees are all loosened up, could come down on you at any time. And I've seen some of the film of the Uki Road, right? And it's not even in one of these areas at the moment. So things are not out of the woods. I don't think Kyogle is safe. I don't think Casino is safe. I don't think that Lismore is safe because of how water flows after it rains somewhere else. So we'll be watching this, and you've just been warned. An actual warning. This is what warnings are all about. How many days do you got to get the fuck out before they come and ruin your childhood, Townsville? Right? Look at this. This is what's planned for you. 2 days from now. This is your 3-hour total. And you're planning it for quite a while in your area. Right? That's a big cell. That cell starts over here at that time and ends over here. According to the weather plan. This is a catastrophic amount of rain that's coming your way. This is a get the fuck out the way kind of amount of rain. As I pull the regular map up and we log. Maybe it'll give me a couple. Again, this road doesn't really have the mountains all on it till you get to here. So all this drains onto this. And where that normally goes, it fucks things. If the gradient's going this way, Bowen, you're fucked. Right? You are actually. This is a get the fuck out kind of place. Just because of the A1. Railroad tracks ain't always in the best place. But the main drainage here is coming along here. All down into this. And into this, hopefully, swampland. Hopefully Mother Nature got to own this where there's not a bunch of people. But I see a creek. Where there's creek, there's drainage. Right? I'm not sure the flood plan for this place, but this doesn't look good. I'd leave. Actually. Don't get caught out. Or make sure you got supplies in your roof. In case you got to camp out up there or you got to leave. I don't know what the normal runoff is like here during a flood. So go through your past history. The possibilities of seeing a 2 to 3 foot sheet of water running down the middle of this country towards its catchment lakes is very real. Because after it all drains in there from your mountains, that shit's got to go somewhere. But every bit of a full coffee cup will fall outside your house overnight during some of these events that are going on. So I went outside to show me. Get an empty coffee cup and put it outside. See if you could shield it from the wind. Because you want the water to go in it to not be blown in it. Because I could blow on a garden hose and fill one up really quick and get bad data. Right? So let's get some data on this so we know. These poor folks. Really, they're filling up the creeks again, and then they're going to let you have it. Right, I'm going to roll it. I'm getting upset, so I'm not going to keep this on much longer. How can you look at areas you know are going to flood, and you're worried about a proper warning going out, and you want to save everybody, but you only got two hands, and you're only capable of picking up one at a time? That's kind of how I feel about this sometimes. This is an ungodly amount of rain. This is diabolical. This geoengineering program that goes along with the Paris Accords. This is your climate being changed right in front of you. When they go hide data from a radar station, what's going on? Why are you hiding something? It's obviously it's on. These poor folks in this area is going to get it really bad, actually. This is so bad. My God. And all the runoff from this is going somewhere. This is happening. This is happening. God have mercy on us all. I can't do this another minute. I'm sorry, y'all. If you care to support my work, look on my wall. I have a link to paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. You're welcome, Higgins weather page, for the free update. Big love. Peace.